All right, so now let's talk about pricing and proposals. So the first thing that you need to do, if you haven't done it already, we have a workshop, a training inside Copyskills called Pricing Your Copywriting Services Based on Math. It's also called the Freelancer Pricing Playbook, and it's a short training that explains how to calculate your prices as a copywriter. And it also comes with an hourly rate calculator where you will enter all of your numbers and then come up with your hourly rate, personal expenses, business expenses, and then the hours that your billable hours per month, and it'll come up with a minimum hourly rate. And then based on your minimum hourly rate, you are going to calculate your minimum prices for the different deliverables that you offer. Yeah. Also, as your business and life expenses grow, your minimum hourly rate is going to naturally increase. The minimum hourly rate doesn't mean that you're going to charge that rate. It just means I can't go below this number because I'm going to lose money. You have to think about your income. Even as a freelancer, you can think about your income as a business. Your business income is completely separate from your personal income. And that's why this exercise is so important. When you're a beginner, the easiest way to figure out your pricing is to count everything you do as a deliverable, and every deliverable gets charged. And then the price of each deliverable is your minimum hourly rate multiplied by the time it takes to complete that, plus your desired profit percentage. Let's say you're writing an email and your minimum hourly rate is $100 per hour. It takes you 30 minutes to write an email, right? So that's $50 in cost, right? Cost of labor. And then you want 100% profit. So that gives you $100 per email, right? Just an example. When you do your own hourly rate calculation, it'll be different, right? And like I said, the minimum hourly rate is only for you to understand your pricing floor, what you can't go below. It also tells you the bare minimum that you can charge per email so that you have some negotiating room, right? If you don't know what your cost is and a prospect asks for a discount, how do you know whether you have enough room to even negotiate? Even though we just giving discounts is not something that we recommend, but sometimes you might have to revise your pricing, right? It also, this exercise is important so that most people will be charging well below their minimum hourly rate. So this is like a wake up call, and the idea is you want to increase your prices immediately to at least the minimum hourly rate, and then grow from there. And then if your rates are well above minimum prices, you have negotiating room, or you can even go higher. And the other thing about it is you never show the clients or the prospects your line item pricing, or you never talk about your minimum hourly rate. That's all that is internal. The only thing that they see is the project pricing or the monthly retainer, the lump sum. Once you get more experience, you'll have systems set up that will help you. You'll have a body of work that you will pretty much repurpose. Like, okay, my abandoned cart campaign, this is exactly what I talk about. So now instead of taking you 30 minutes to write an email, you might write the entire campaign in 30 minutes. Might take you 15 minutes to write an email instead of 30. Because like you're doing your calculations based on an hourly rate, does that mean you're going to charge less? No, absolutely not. You have a few choices. Either you can maintain your prices. So because the costs are lower, now you're making more profit, or you can switch to value-based pricing. And this is the ideal situation that you want to be in, because if you can make a client $100,000, it doesn't make sense to charge them 3,000. They would absolutely be happy with paying you 10,000. Yeah, that's the rule of the 10x rule. You're giving them a 10x ROI, so it's completely fair for you to charge them 10K. And number two, charging too little is a red flag. If you're saying you can make me $100,000 and you're charging me 3K, that doesn't make sense. Why are you charging so little? You must be bullshitting me. So you have to be careful there. But again, you want to always understand your costs. The way that agencies do it is they understand their pricing down to 15-minute blocks, how their labor is being used, and they charge based on that. So you always want to understand your costs. And what happens when you get good with AI and you built AI systems, and now your work is taking seconds to do, like it takes you like 2 minutes to finish an entire campaign, versus before when you're doing things manually, and it's taking you 30 minutes to write even one email. Right? That's where you charge based on value because you're solving a problem. What is that? What is the solution to the problem worth to the client? You charge based on that. The way you want to build a proposal, an email marketing proposal, is I like to do it in 3-month blocks. One, because it's long enough for you to get your client results. Two, it's short enough that both parties can end. There is like a definite end in sight. Let's say you don't get results, or you don't like working with this client. There is a definite end in sight, and you can part ways with no hard feelings because you have a 3-month agreement. And it also removes a lot of uncertainty when you're charging retainer fees and the client is paying you monthly. Am I going to pay them like 5,000 a month forever? How does that work? When does it end? No. Once you set a definite end date, the client knows, okay, 3 months, this is how long we're working together, and I'm paying $5,000 for 3 months each. $5,000 per month for 3 months. When you do the 3-month contract, there's also like a 30-day cancellation period. There's all different kinds of ways that you can set up agreements as scope of work and terms and conditions and whatever. But in general, you want to give like a 30-day out clause where they can get out of the agreement, but they have to give you like 30 days notice. There are some advanced ways for handling these that I can't out. There's no time to cover in this program, but you can get creative with ways on how you set up your invoicing. If you take the payment for the first month and the last month up front, then you don't need a 30-day cancellation. They can cancel whenever because you've already got your last month's pay, right? So if they decide, hey, I'm done with it, I don't want the third month, they've already paid for it. So you might as well continue doing it. A good guide to follow about this, his name is Brian Speranello. He's a copywriter, but he's also like an expert in client management and these kinds of topics, proposals, contracts, etc.
What did you say his name is again?
Brian Speranello.
Got that.
And then if the client wants to keep working with you, they can renew for further 3-month terms. And this is how, when you see copywriters or service providers talking about, oh, I just closed a $15,000 client today. Oh, I just closed a $20,000 client today. This is how they're selling those 5-figure packages that they post about on social media. The reality is it's a 3-month agreement or 6-month agreement or something like that, sold as like a one block contract value, and then the payments are spread out. So it's just a retainer at the end of the day. And the only thing is they've packaged it in a way that is considered one unit of a project, right? So somebody says, oh, I closed a $15,000 client today. And you're thinking, oh, I might as well kill myself because I'm only charging $3,000 per client. But the reality is they're getting paid $5,000 per month per client per month for 3 months. And you're really not that far off from getting to that level. Let's say you're doing emails for them and you're doing 3 emails a week for them. If all you're doing is writing the copy and you're doing minimal design, you'll be charging something like $100 per email. If you do advanced design, like if you're messing around with Figma or Canva and things like that, you might charge $200 or $300 per email. Let's say 100, right? 3 emails per week, 15 emails per month total is 1,500 because some weeks are like 5 weeks long, right? You have content for a social channel, 4 per month at 250 a piece, that's 1,000. Then we have repurposed content, 4 per month based off of the content here that you've helped them create. 125 per month, that's 500 total. Quarterly editorial calendar. You're going to create this anyway, but you're going to charge them money for it, even though they don't see the price. $250. Weekly and monthly reporting. So every week you'll send them a summary email of what you got done for that week, results, things of that nature. $125 times 4 is the $500. A monthly strategy call where you go over this month's, what you got done this month, the plan for next month, results of the month, etc. $500. You add it all up, you get $4,250, and that's the price of the retainer. Why are you going to add social content? Is the easiest way to increase your fees because you have to do market research for email content anyways. Why not give them this content, the social content, based off the research that you're already doing for some extra money? It also gets you involved in more of the business. So one of the problems of being an email marketer is when you don't have control over the lead generation or the traffic. By getting involved in the social channel, you have at least some control over the leads, over how much traffic the site is getting and how many emails are being added to your list every single week. By getting involved in more of the business, you become more of like a indispensable kind of contractor as opposed to just a service provider. Also, it helps you grow the email list because every piece of content you're going to put some call to action. Yeah. If you're doing video content for them, whether it's short form or long form, these are all like mini VSLs for the products. So it's already easy. Like you already know how to do this. You have some idea as a copywriter of how to write VSLs. And you can also promote this sort of content in emails, right? So those are fewer emails to write, right? You have 4 YouTube videos per month. That's 4 fewer emails that you have to write. All you have to do is write 2 lines of a summary driving them to the video, and the video does the selling for you. Not only that, but when they click on the links in the emails, those clicks indicate intent. Say you're doing, I made a video about pre-workout supplements, and they click on the link to my video, right? Now that click is going to trigger an automated email saying, hey, because you clicked, here's 5% off our pre-workout. So now that's even fewer emails to write. And also, this content is going to drive direct sales from the content itself, because you're going to put links to your store in the description. And it's going to drive indirect sales from the people who are actually clicking. Then people will comment on your content, whether that's positive comments or negative comments. Like all of this is ideas for emails. And then your winning emails, the emails that outperform, you can add them to your flows. Let's say you have a flow that is just for supplements, and you drop a video that actually really outperforms. It generates like a shit ton of revenue. You can add that video as an email to the flow. You can add top performing videos to your welcome series, to your abandoned cart series, etc. So then what does the client see? So let's look at some examples, right? So here's one example. 3 email campaigns per week, 15 per month. 4 YouTube video talking points or scripts per month. 4 blogs per month. That's repurposed from the videos, yeah? Because all you have to do is turn the video transcript into a blog post and then post it on the website and then embed the YouTube video as well. Quarterly editorial calendar, weekly and monthly reporting, monthly strategy call, 4,250 per month is another example. Deliverables, 5 email campaigns per week, 20 per month, 10 short form video scripts for IG Reels, 10 carousels for IG. I'm putting repurpose here, but that's just for you to understand. So that you understand that you're not creating these ideas from scratch. The client doesn't actually have to see it. One lead magnet for auto DM campaigns. Let's say the client doesn't want to be on YouTube as much, but they're hot on Instagram or they're hot on TikTok. Actually, not even TikTok, because TikTok can't do auto DMs. But yeah, Instagram. They want to be big on Instagram, right? You can help them here. One lead magnet per month for auto DM campaigns. And you can even set up that automation for them, which we've covered in the list building section. Quarterly editorial calendar, weekly and monthly reporting, monthly strategy call, investment 5,250 per month. And this sounds like a lot if you're used to charging 1,000 per month, 2,000 per month, but the breakdown, we're actually not charging a lot per deliverable. $100 for email, you're finally, as a serious professional business owner, you're finally actually accurately calculating the value of the work that you're doing, instead of just charging $1,000 per month because you think that's what the client will pay. So this is not a lot. Like 250 per month for a YouTube script. There are people that charge like $1,000 per script. That are professional YouTube script writers, probably even more, like sometimes even 1,500. He pays his edit 1,500 per video.
Ali Abdal
Um,
is huge.
not that much for, and then a blog post, right? Even though it's repurposed, 125 for a blog post, that's nothing. I charge sometimes for a long form blog post. I used to charge like $1,000. Actually, it wasn't even that long form, but like 1,500 words, something in that range. To charge $1,000 per blog post. So there's not a lot per deliverable, but once you count up all the deliverables and add up the price, this is what you end up with. And then the last part we want to talk about is delivering the work, right? And you have to break this up, because let's say you're working with a new client, right? And they don't have their email shit together. Like they're on fucking MailChimp, or they're using like Shopify's native, Shopify's native email sending tool, right? So you decide, okay, let's get the house in order and the ducks in a row, right? So we're gonna migrate you to Bento. I'm gonna handle the migration. So I'm gonna set up and test all the integrations. I'm gonna scrub your list, and we're gonna do a list warm up and reactivation. Then after that, we're gonna optimize all your core flows, your welcome series, abandonment, and post purchase. And why you want to optimize the core flows is because like most people will have 1, 2, or 3 emails in their welcome series, but you want it to be like 10 emails long. And like from this like the revenue increase from the welcome series by just optimizing it, you pretty much pay for yourself in terms of the extra revenue generated. And that is revenue that happens every single month because it's an automation. Same thing with the abandonment and course post purchase, right? So then we're going to come up with a quarterly email calendar for the next 3 months to outline all of our promotions and our content topics that we're going to write about. And also, I'm going to give you a YouTube calendar with keywords and topics to target for the next 3 months. And then I'm also going to give you 15 emails that we're going to send, email campaigns. I'll give you 4 YouTube videos with talking points or a script outline, and then we'll give you a report every single week, and then we'll do a monthly strat call. So you're front loading some work, right? This is like extra work, yeah. So you're gonna charge for this. It's not gonna be like you're doing this extra work, but you're just gonna charge them $4,000 a month static for the entire 3 months, right? No, you're gonna charge appropriately for this. For months 2 and 3, you've done most of the work now. So now all you're doing is like you're doing the campaign stuff. You're doing the easy stuff. So 15 email copy, 4 YouTube videos, 4 blog posts that are repurposed from the YouTube videos, and then weekly and monthly reporting and the monthly strategy call, $4,000 per month. So this is total $15,000 for 3 months. And then when you invoice them, it's 100% payment in advance due on the first of every single month. You never work without getting paid. The total contract value is 15,000, and you can give them options. You can do, you can ask them, do you want equal payments of 5,000? And if they ask you for a discount, you say the discount is we let you split up the payments. Because what you're doing is when you say that when you're on the sales call, you say the price. Yeah, we can help you do this. It's $15,000. Oh, can I get a discount? Okay, we can split up the payments. If $15,000 is hard for you to manage. Or you can say something like, we can take $1,000 off the total if you pay 3 months upfront. But the price is the price. And also, don't use Stripe, use Wise or use Payoneer. We have a training in Fastest Path to Cash by my friend Jim, where we talk about how to actually get paid as a global South copywriter. The conclusion we came up with was Wise or Payoneer are your best bets, unless you want to get paid with crypto or stable coins. I might have to do an additional trading or something like that for getting paid by crypto. But more and more people are willing to pay with crypto and willing to get paid by crypto. I know some of our Copyskills members back in the day, they used to pay me with Tether because the payment processor in the old Copyskills forum wasn't accepting their cards. So yeah, that is pricing and proposals. Do you have any questions?
I've just seen a lot of things I haven't been doing, so I need to start.
Tell him, hey, how about I do this for you and you increase the price of your.
Yeah. I'm being paid in percentage based on sales.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
Because I'm not the only writer. I just promote one course. But I've seen a couple of gaps that I can fill. So I've asked for us to jump on a call soon, but he's traveling, he's in China right now. I guess we are going to have to fix that and try to see if I can bump up the price of what I earn every month.
Yeah, and if you're getting paid a percentage, right? Will you make more sales if you do this extra work? If you drive more leads to his list, right? There's no limit to the amount of work that you can do. You just tell him, hey, I think we should make some videos about this. What do you think? Or, hey, I came up with this idea for a lead magnet. I wrote it in a Google Doc. How about we make some reels to promote it, to grow the list? And then you can even make a quick landing page and have for everybody who opts in for the lead magnet, then on the thank you page, you make them an offer for the course with like a flash sale with a discount timer, like a countdown timer, like 10% off the course or something like that. And then you can set up upsells and things like that. There's so many ways to do it. But the point is, if you're getting paid a percentage, there's no limit to the amount of work that you can do because you're getting paid a percentage. You're not charging based on deliverables. The more leads you get to the list, the more you're able to sell the product, the more money you make.